Greetings once again, brothers and sisters. Welcome to another reaction on this Mystelics Reacts channel. Of course, big up to all the Mystelics family, and the new video was tuning in to see what's up with my thoughts and comments on this Saturday edition, brothers and sisters. Big bodies have been a part of this vibrations happening, you guys. Right there, of course, don't forget to click the thumbs up button, brothers and sisters. Click the thing, and of course, leave your thoughts and comments in the comment box below, brothers and sisters. Appreciate you guys for definitely doing so for the weekend. Of course, we're going to react into the comments for the week on the video that has the most comments today, brothers and sisters. Welcome to every single one of you guys. Don't forget, like I indicated before, brothers and sisters, to click the thumbs up button and subscribe and turn on that post notification, brothers and sisters. Click the thumbs up button, subscribe, brothers and sisters, and turn on that post notification. Click the thumbs up button, brothers and sisters. Subscribe if you've not done so, yeah, brothers and sisters. And of course, with that said right there, let us get into the vibrations. Of course, there's something very interesting that I have to talk about. I think it's yesterday I had to talk about these, brothers and sisters, but today I'm bringing it already. Of course, as indicated right there, this is St. Lucia, brothers and sisters. And of course, the government has secured a CBD loan to fix water supply. Money flowing nicely, apparently, because they can get loans in St. Lucia to definitely do so right there. What about the... Well, anyways, that's St. Lucia, so let me leave that there, brothers and sisters. Meanwhile, Wasco still studying the situation. So apparently, the government has secured a 22.8 million US dollars, brothers and sisters. That is about what, 60 million EC dollars to fix the water supply. And apparently, Wasco is still studying the situation. Now you might be saying, but Mr. Alex, what have to do with us there? Well, you'll find it in a moment. And of course, as indicated right there, and we're studying how to bathe with one bucket, brothers and sisters. Well, apparently, the resolution apparently is for St. Lucia to start shipping Dominica water from Dominica to St. Lucia. And of course, it'll start on March 19th, 2026. And of course, they'll be doing something very interesting by fooling some, what do you call it, tanks of water to bring water to St. Lucia. It's very interesting. We have the Prime Minister himself indicating something very interesting to us. And of course, this is what he had to see right there.
Second, Mr. Speaker, we are going to be importing what number? The International Tourism Association, working with the government and working with Vasco, are going to be importing water from Dominica.
Now, it's interesting, Dominica brothers and sisters. Both St. Lucia and Dominican individuals will be watching this video. To me, St. Lucia has water, you know. Now, on the Dominican side, don't get me wrong, you know, I think that is a great opportunity for Dominica, considering Dominica has been importing, or let me start from there. Dominica is known for having 365 rivers, and I think that Dominica is supposed to be exporting water, not importing water. But apparently, Dominica has been importing water relentlessly, even though Dominica claims that it has 365 rivers. Some of them drying up. You know, that's how it is. The individuals, the government themselves doesn't take care of it. Dumb like even making noise saying, hélas, the water supply is going down so it doesn't turn their turbines and what have you. Anyway, brothers and sisters, that's not my struggle right there. But of course, Dominica is known for having water. But for some interesting reason, and like I indicated before when I heard Kenty saying that thing in his song, something that is a saying that is very much familiar, you do not bring sand to the beach, brothers and sisters. But apparently in Dominica, you can bring water to the river. You know, water to the river. Now, in St. Lucia case, I'm sure St. Lucia doesn't have the amount of water that Dominica has. Even on the indication that the Prime Minister of Dominica indicated that we can most likely export about 1 million gallons of water per day. If I remember that correctly, the Prime Minister of Dominica was indicating that we can export about 1 million gallons of water per day. So we have a lot of water on the Dominica, brothers and sisters. We have a lot of water on top and at the bottom, brothers and sisters. But for some reason or the other, we keep importing water from overseas. We import water from Trinidad, St. Vincent, Antigua. You know, I'm serious. Yes, brothers and sisters. We import water from Antigua. I have seen it. Oasis is from Antigua. I've seen it. You know, I've drank St. Vincent water. It's not as nice as Dominica water, but hey, it's much cheaper than the Dominica water in Dominica, which is interesting. Anyways, so we have been importing all these waters from all over the place, and now I guess we get the opportunity for us to export water to St. Lucia. No, like I indicated before, St. Lucia doesn't have the amount of water Dominica has, true, but St. Lucia does have water, you know, it does have water. So when you're listening to the Prime Minister of St. Lucia say they're going to be importing water, that's a good thing for Dominica. Does it make sense to the individuals in St. Lucia? Maybe not. But hey, send the water from Dominica. Let's go. There's something also very interesting that he stated right there that got me, like what? Let's take a listen.
Using a badge, Mr. Speaker.
So using a badge, you will be exporting the water from Dominica to import into St. Lucia.
Also important because the hotels and people enough have to truck water from the south of the country to take it down to Grosile and the north.
So the south of St. Lucia has water. There might have been some issues, I guess, with WASCO's facilitations up in the north. But of course, they have water in the south, and they're checking. It is a problem to, take water from the south and bring it to the north. That's what he's just stated right there. Am I wrong?
The hotels and people enough have to truck water from the south of the country to take it down to Grosile
to the north. Now, guys, let me tell you something now. I would understand if you have to travel by land too, because traveling from the south of St. Lucia to the north is a journey. I'm not gonna lie. It is a journey, guys. We have windy roads in Dominica. St. Lucia they have bend. They have everything you can think of, brothers and sisters. They have bend. Let me tell you about it. That's how we go on bike show, bike life, and the kind of twassing mankind have to be doing on them roads and going uphill too. So I know that is a problem, no doubt about it. But there's the sea. So if you cannot take the road, you can take the sea. Not true, because that's how you're going to bring Dominica water to St. Lucia by a barge. Not true. So I would think that would make sense. Take water, put it in the boat, and bring it up, But hey, I guess they want to do it that way. It's not just that. Now let's continue.
So that's going to be easier, and because of the foresight of the government in allowing Alia to build their jetty, the barge can come in there and the water can be dispersed from there, which is closer than the north community.
Now that is the shocking part for me, brothers and sisters, because the Prime Minister apparently doesn't know how far Dominica is from St. Lucia. Now he's talking about the north. Now let me show you guys the map. This is Dominica right there. This is St. Lucia. So obviously around the southern part of Dominica will be sending water to St. Lucia, to the northern part of St. Lucia. Okay, great. Now he's talking about the southern part of St. Lucia. Now I don't know, maybe, now keep in mind, maybe is St. Lucia in the Atlantic Ocean? Is that the situation? But then again, the barge is still coming in the water, so that would make sense. So I understand if St. Lucia saying they have to make the whole journey with boat and go up and stop maybe in the Atlantic, maybe Dominica can then pass through the Caribbean Sea and then bring it to St. Lucia. Is that the case? Is that? But the fact that he's saying that it is closer. Now, I did a closer metric on St. Lucia, the south of St. Lucia to the north of St. Lucia versus the south of Dominica, brothers and sisters. The pelvic regions of Dominica, I would have to say. Not the foot, the pelvic region. So the Prime Minister is saying that the pelvic region of Dominica is closer to the north of St. Lucia, which is Grosile area, Castries, Grosile area. And apparently, Grosile area is further than Dominica to Not me that say that, no boy.
Build their jetty, the barge can come in there and the water can be dispersed from there, which is closer than the north.
You say closer than the south, eh? But hey, I myself not vexed about that. St. Lucia's probably checking, but that don't making sense. If you want to take it by boat, let's take boat from the south of St. Lucia and bring it to the north. The money will circulate amongst us. But then again, on Dominica's side, I'm thinking, well, that is a good thing for Dominica. At least Dominica gets to export its water to other places, and then utilize that of which we actually are the top of the Caribbean. Dominica is the top of the Caribbean, I would have to say. So I think that is a good thing for Dominica, but doesn't make sense for the individuals in St. Lucia. Just like I am saying that Dominica importing all these waters from all over the place. St. Lucia, Trinidad, all these places, brothers and sisters. It doesn't make sense at all, But, I guess, that is a way forward for Dominica. It doesn't make sense for the individuals in St. Lucia who can take the water from the south of St. Lucia and bring it to the north, whether it's by boat or by vehicle, whichever. I would not take the road or take the boat, take it across, go up, great. Oh, but it makes sense for the people of Dominica to export water to St. Lucia. You understand? So it doesn't make sense in St. Lucia, but it makes sense in Dominica, if you get my drift. Righty, guys. What are your thoughts, man? Leave your thoughts in the comment box below. There's also something that doesn't make any sense at all, brothers and sisters. We're heading back to Dominica when it comes into the situation right there. So we crossing St. Lucia, crossing Matnik, and of course we go into Dominica right there, which is apparently closer and the south of St. Lucia. Let's go to ROSEAU, brothers and sisters. We're seeing this sentiment right there of a particular individual who is trying to park. Brothers and sisters, he trying to park.
And she might hit. Oh shit!
That was close. That was very close.
She might hit.
That was close.
Oh shit!
No, brothers and sisters, let me zoom in on that to see if it's exactly. Yes, that is definitely Dominica.
Wait till you see.
That is a private vehicle, by the way. Eh? This is not a rental.
Wait till you see the space. You're a guy? I thought it was
a man. A man is doing that, brother. A man. That cannot be a man that from Dominica. That's the anti-man, brother. That's the anti-man. That's the anti-man. Yes. It's either a woman that driving crazy, so you can say what all you want. And I've seen some woman drivers, and my God, they need the blood of Jesus. But if it's a man that driving like that, he's an anti-man. You can never be a properly thinking man and doing that marky there. You're an anti-man. Yes.
Girl. I thought it was a girl. Wait till you
You
see.
see? That first of all, that cannot be somebody from Dominica. You can never be from Dominica. Never.
The space. Watch the space.
All that, my brother, all that. Gasa, I myself know when I doing my thing, when I doing my parallel parking or whatever you want to call it, and I doing my reverse and what have you, brothers and sisters. I toss in like a ninja in the place. It can be this. I fit in. I've done it, brothers and sisters. I fit in and you roll out to that and you roll out. But my God, Mr. All this space.
I thought it was a girl. Wait till you see the space.
All this space, Mr. All that.
Watch the space.
All that.
You see the space.
No, man. This is anti-man that day.
You see the space.
Yes, man. He anti-me all. He anti-me all.
Scared you guys?
And he still not park properly, you know. He still not park properly. There's a person they deport. The person that recording song like a deport. He have an accent. The person that driving there is most likely a deported. That person can never be from Dominica, brother and sister. Never. Or that person learned to drive in America can never be from never, ever. Never from Dominica, brother and sister. Never. I staking my money on that, brother and sister. That person can never be from Dominica. A man that there could never.
Careful who you letting into this country, get his license and shit, man. I swear to God,
They give him license. No boy, practice Mr. Practicing, boy. No boy. Mr. probably had Down syndrome or something. Mr. Autistic. Something wrong with Mr. Yes, man.
This is incredible. That's the car.
All that
That's the
space.
space.
No boy. That's a deportee. Mr. and deportee.
Incredible.
Yeah, man.
All right, people.
They deport both for them. The person talking that kind of accent, that person that driving most likely is also deported. that's the only way I can conclude it, brothers and sisters. Because that kind of driving there is only in America to see this mashy there, you know. Some people can't even park there, brothers and sisters. Some people cannot even park. Brothers and sisters, I mean people that get their license in the United States. And for them to just reverse and park, that is a problem for them. I'm like, how did you get your license? How? You might fail reversing, but you pass everything else. So they give you your license, brothers and sisters, back in. It's one of the best things, or I think one of the most profound or important things you're supposed to do. Because if you're parking irresponsibly, you're going to affect others who also need proper parking. Parking to me is fundamental. And these people cannot park. So uncle most likely get his training from America.
See my head. Oh shit.
You will not be able to pass in Dominica. How Mr. get license there, boy? Mr. must have put on a dirty piece of change. He come down from America somewhere. And the boy must have been making $1 million. Say, boy, let me put $1,000. Let me give them man $1,000 to make me pass that thing and whoop. No, man. You could give me $1,000. You fail in. Me, you doing that, no problem. Contribution to the headquarters. You fail in, boss. What is that now? The trouble is that look the man watch that.
Wait till you see the space.
Watch that. The man self still turning me. So he's back more in the road than the front. Yes, I mess him down.
You're a guy.
No, that's anti-mule. Anti-mule that's screaming anti-mule, brothers. Anti-mule are there. Yes, man, that's anti-mule.
I thought it was a girl.
Shocking stuff, man. And darkers on them. No boy. You know you're supposed to have roof. You know you're supposed to have roof when you drive it. The way you drive it there, you know that's how when it raining, you're just supposed to take the rain. you do not supposed to. Matter of fact, you should be on a bicycle that a motor. That's what you should be on. So you can get up and park your bike. No man, bicycle they should give Mr. Joke Mr. Making Bob. Anyway, brothers and sisters, let us get into the other part of this here reaction. Of course, let's get into the comments. Okay, guys, we are finally back, and of course, this is the vibrations right there. Of course, this one had 63 comments, brothers and sisters, and of course, this is the video. Police drags Nazi fountain out of the Chinese trucks way in Dubois, and of course, a number of other things that we talk about right there. This was the main video, and of course, we got 63 comments right there, brothers and sisters. So we're gonna look at this stuff. So everything up and okay, good. So let's get it done right there. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit. All right, who's that? The Weekend. Okay, The Weekend says scary, just using Dominica to fatten his and the future of his kids' pockets. His kids are Americans, yes. So Dominica, restella. Well, that's what it appears to be, brothers and sisters. It appears to be so. We have even been hearing people say that maybe all the mansions they're building right now, 3 of them, well, 2 of them, and one apparently is allegedly MMCE that gives Skerrit a thing for him to stay in, and you know, allegedly, brothers and sisters. But apparently they've been saying that all the mansions that have been built is one for each of his children. And his children are definitely from overseas, both of them born in the United States, and I hear one is from Britain. I don't know if that is true. Well, he had diplomatic passports. Ask me what the diplomat passport holder doing with a diplomatic passport. But hey, that's what has been indicated right there. And of course, it's so interesting. Skerrit is known to be French. I don't know whether he denounced it or not. He's known to be French. Melissa apparently is from Canada. The 2 children from Melissa is American citizens. They're born in America. As a sitting prime minister, he makes his children born in the United States. And allegedly, the first one is apparently a British citizen. I don't know if that is true or not, but you know. So the whole family of the Prime Minister of Dominica, including himself, apparently has other ties to other places. That's very interesting, eh? And then we wondering why things are not happening for Dominica. Yet still what we are seeing is actually them enriching themselves and their individuals. How on earth do you move from poverty to being allegedly a billionaire, the richest Prime Minister in the Caribbean? That making sense to me? That making sense to you? And then Dominica is so poor, brothers and sisters. Dominica wasn't the last kakarot of the Caribbean, you know, when it comes to economy. Dominica wasn't the last kakarot. Today, Dominica is the last kakarot. If allegedly the Prime Minister being a billionaire today, brothers and sisters. So, I mean, obviously, we've seen what is happening when it comes to the money factor. Anyways, thanks for that comment, no doubt about it. Delroy is saying, wisdom quotation for March 13th, 2026. Read Dominica International Airport and changing currencies. I see this as an opportunity vested into a new Dominica angle, one which addresses several issues retrospectively: the banana and export industry, the mining industry, copper, and there's a current contention there. Of course, there's a current contention there because we don't want them to be mining copper, because it's going to be destroying other things right there. And if you have to be mining copper, at least let the people know. There was a thought that popped into my head a bit earlier, brothers and sisters, when it comes into the copper situation. I'm thinking to myself, maybe the Chinese wants copper, because all the studies are apparently being done that is relatively made public to the citizens have indicated that the stones that they're looking for this is not the conducive place for it. So I'm thinking to myself, maybe the Chinese knows that there's copper there and they want to get the copper there. So they're saying to scare it. I heard that the airport is stopping because there's not much money flowing and whatever. I don't know if that is the case. But brothers and sisters, if there's copper there and China wants copper, there could be the direct market to it. There could be the direct market for the copper, and therefore the Chinese are mining the copper there. Because apparently it's not stone they're looking for, because the stone are not uniform stones according to the geologists. It is not uniform, brothers and sisters, and it's not the quality material needed for an international airport. So tell me what else they'll be doing there. What else? You know? All right. By the way, I have this top order, brothers and sisters. We look at that on Monday. Tune in for that, brothers and sisters. We have that thing right there. So anyways, the banana export industry, the person saying that is an opportunity invested in Dominica, you know, well, invested in Dominica, the opportunity, at what cost? That is the question right there. Copper, and there's a current contention there. The tourism industry, the cable car company saga. Several other sisters, but I think just cut off right there. But of course, where was I? The immigration mass deportation industry, the CBI program, consulates, the cutting a deal with the United States to accept Haitian. I don't think it's the Haitians. Hey, all right, Haitians and deportees. I don't know. They did say, you know, asylum seekers. So, you know, maybe it's them. So we'll see how that goes. Because of this feat of effective lineage, the intrinsic value as reflected by modern costs of building international airports based off of current terrain climates. All right, would surpass every other in the region. Well, you think all these things would probably give Dominica an opportunity ahead of itself. Certain of these things should not be at all. The cable car, yes, that's good, but you need people to come to Dominica and this kind of things there. People are just coming to Dominica to ride a cable car. Other places don't necessarily have cable cars, brothers and sisters. Although it will bring a number of persons who are coming to Dominica to experience Dominica a bit more, probably spend a little more money in Dominica, but you need more people to actually come to Dominica on certain measures. The cable car will be a good thing, no doubt about it. True. I don't see how the illegal people coming in going to help Dominica. I guess we'll have to see how that goes. The copper, we have no idea what is going on with the copper situation. The government has not come out and told the people, hey, okay, we have copper, we'll dig this area. And so I explained that already when it comes into the sentiment right there. But anyways, thanks for that comment. If you see it as an opportunity, great. I think some of the things are definitely opportunities. When it comes on to the cost, that is the big question right there. There, Roy, just now them goes tiny, that airport. Especially now this car get fuel subsidies in light of the Gulf crisis. If not bananas tourism, if not tourism, CBI, if not CBI copper, if not copper, tell Trump to take all of them out. Anyways, thanks for that comment, no doubt about it. What is that? Mark is saying, at the rate they're hiring police officers, what kind of training are they receiving? That's one of the things I want to know. Because apparently the police officers don't seem to understand what what the law is. Oh my goodness. But then again, it's probably a new culture that has been created where, of course, certain people have been doing things, or the heads in the police department have been doing a certain thing. And as a result of that continuing abstract of the Constitution itself, then it becomes a culture. And I think that is what has happened with the police situation. So they're not necessarily training people to go according to the Constitution, because when you see police violate people's constitutional rights in broad daylight, you know, I find that to be very interesting right there. Not too long ago, I was pulled over in a traffic stop, I guess, gave my particulars, was still subject to search, and had a pocket knife and scissors confiscated from my personal vehicle. How they can do that now? But if it's, well, I guess you'll have to take that up with the authorities. Oh, well, then who is the authority? How they can take your pocket knife and scissors? How they can do that? Anyways, and they told me that these are dangerous weapons, then proceeded to asking if I have a cutlass on board. The whole vibe is just sad. We are lost people. Thanks for the comment. But I think, what? Most people I know have a cutlass, brothers and sisters. There's literally a lady in Trinidad, and I check it, she learned that from Dominica, man. Most people have a cutlass in their car to either protect themselves or to go garden. So how the police can ask you if you have a cutlass if that is a norm in Dominica? They take your scissors. What? So besides your child scissors to cut paper. So besides your knife to go and cut something. Or, you know, they just have this kind of utility knives. So they just taking your thing and tell you it's dangerous. What? I find that hard to believe. But hey, if that happens, I'm sorry to hear that. But I find that hard to believe it. That's craziness right there. And is Kiliami saying, give us the next time all you going down there. Oh, I think it is about ROSEAU. Somebody actually met me and say they are 20 strong. I say, well, I'll hear it. I'll tell them. I'll tell ROSEAU them. And the person kind of chicken out right there. They're probably watching this video as we speak. Anyways, thanks for that comment right there. Kiliam again is saying, I tell you so long, scared sell that mountain. Not today. I actually saw a video of a man claiming that the area that they're doing this mining thing is actually his land. If you guys want me to react to that, let me know in the comments. I will definitely do so on the upcoming week right there. So let me know that, God spare. So, you know, I don't know if they sell, how can they sell mountain when a man is claiming it's his land? You know, sometimes the government does confiscate land, but they have to pay you for the land that they confiscate, and they have to pay you adequately. So that is a very interesting one, no doubt about it. Thanks for that comment. Movies is saying, Skerrit said no law and constitution can stop him. Apparently that looks like the case. Because I don't know if you have a stop order and you're still continuing. It's stop order, and I would say maybe they're bringing the machines just in case they needed to put it somewhere. No, a stop order means you should do absolutely nothing there. So you shouldn't be bringing machines and say, well, if it continues, if this stop order is removed or whatever, then we can continue. Somebody send me the stop order. So that's interesting. Anyway, brothers and sisters, so if court gave a stop work order and Skerrit allowing that work to continue, then he is right. He is right. No law can stop him. And many, that's what I've been saying. How come, how can there be a stop order and that continues? I find that to be crazy right there. This is one of the reasons why I think they are taking MMC or the Chinese to court. Of course, if you want me to, there's also a GoFundMe page that David and I think ROSEAU together have combined together to say, hey, we're going to take the government to court when it comes into the situation right there. So if you want to make a contribution, let me know. I'll post that in your comments so you guys can definitely check it out right there. If you definitely want to get that GoFundMe link and you want to make a contribution in it as well. Mystelics, why Dominicans don't want the digging? The digging is not to say we don't want the digging, you know. Thanks for that comment, Cameron. It's not to say Dominica doesn't want the digging. It's what the digging will do. It will affect the other rivers that are there. And when it affects the other rivers that are there, the potential of drying up these rivers, because if you take out the trees and the mountains and this kind of things there, you're going to have less water flowing into this thing and obviously drying up the land, brothers and sisters. So then we'll have to revert to what they used to do back in the day, wells. And you Dominica have a lot of water. So, you know, we'll have to, you see like cabrits, wells, brothers and sisters. Go, you see a well, they pumping stuff. They used to have a number of these things all over the place in Dominica. So most of the water is under, but keep it in mind that we don't want to resort to that situation. You don't want to dry up the river just so you can build wells. That making sense? No, it doesn't make sense at all. You protect what it needs to be protected. And they're saying, obviously, based off the research that has been done, laboratory tests that have been done, it has been indicated that what Skerrit them say they're doing there is actually not what they're doing there, because there's no uniform rocks, and the rocks there are not quality rocks for building any international airport. So if that is the case, the two things that they say that they're doing, they're finding the best rocks and the quality rocks, and now you find on the research that there's no quality rocks and these are not uniform rocks, then that means they are digging the wrong place, or they have another agenda that is digging the copper. And if you're digging the copper, you need to let the people know, hey, we're digging the copper, and so forth, and see what can happen when it comes into the sentiment. I'm not saying you do not take these raw materials and utilize them. Yes, we can probably utilize them in Dominica ourselves. But we just going blindsided when it comes into the sentiment right there. And of course, if you can take, okay, let's say you have the mountain that is really going to be affecting the rivers, okay, and the other part is not going to affect the rivers, then you say, okay, you can dig a little of that mountain, certain areas where you can actually go and get the deposits. But then you have to mash up the whole mountain. Saying this rock you're looking for. Lies, blatant lies that there. So anyways, thanks for that comment, no doubt about it. Of course, movies again is saying it is well obvious no, that it is the copper they mining, yes. For hence the desperation for them to disobey the Dominican laws, yes, brothers and sisters. No doubt about it. It's very clear. Because they come and say they have their research and doing their research, and when you ask where's the test and the research, nothing been done. The experts came down and said they look at the stuff. Where was the testing done? Nobody could tell you. So they do the testing themselves. And when they do the testing, they found copper deposits. They found that the rocks are not uniform, and the quality materials of the rocks is not what they claim it is. So they lied to the Dominican people. Again, are you surprised that they lied to the Dominican people? Brothers and sisters, you should not be. Nobody should be surprised that Scary them is lying to the Dominican people. They lied when it comes on to Dominica or in Venezuela. They lied. And then after Hurricane Mario, Erica, one of them brothers and sisters, Venezuela give Dominica $100 million in debt forgiveness after telling the Dominican people that Dominica doesn't owe Venezuela anything. Huh? I mean, come on. How we don't learn nothing? Huh? And there's been a plethora of lies being told by the administration, and they think somehow they're going to tell the truth. And then they lie again, brothers and sisters. They lied again about this whole copper situation. They're looking for uniform rocks and quality rocks, and that is the best area. They tell us that is the best area for these rocks. Scary that come and say that way. These are the best area for these rocks to build the international airport. And come to find out the experts who did these studies find out this lie. So, I mean, come on. We shouldn't be bamboozled by this. Movies again is saying, but how there is a stop work order and the Chinese still working and the police know of the stop work order and the police is on site allowing the Chinese to continue work there. That's one thing I don't understand. In fact, the police are supposed to be arresting the Chinese. No, they're taking out the Dominicans there to allow the Chinese to continue. Brothers and sisters, tell me something now. Does this sound like law-abiding police to you or agenda-based police? What does that sound like? And even if they're not doing any work there, brothers and sisters, and they're putting their trucks there, they're not supposed to be doing that in the first place. No work should be done there. If somebody have to pay you to move a truck to go inside there, you work in. Point blank and period. Movies again. This high disrespect. Yes. Is this how they treat the legend? Nazio? I don't understand this crazy stuff. Well, that is crazy. Hope there's soon to be new Prime Minister Thompson will clean out the police. Yeah, that's why I say, brothers and sisters, it's not just, we tend to look at Skerrit as being corrupt and this kind of thing. It's not just Skerrit, no, brothers and sisters. The whole system has to go. The police individuals need to retrain those who have been involved in corruption or any alleged corruption. They too need to go. All the people who have been forcing the individuals to try. But I don't understand these things. Brothers and sisters, the whole system. When a bad apple has corrupted other bad apples. But mark you. When a bad apple has corrupted good apples, these good apples are no longer good. They are corrupted as well. If you leave a bad apple amongst apple brothers and sisters, if you don't root out that apple, if it stays there long enough, all the apples going to be corrupt. All the apples going to be rotten in. You're going to stay there and leave the apples and say you're going to eat it? Or you throw in the whole bag. The whole system have to go. Because you know what? If the whole system doesn't go and you change the head, brothers and sisters, you know what's going to happen? The plethora of apples that have already been corrupted going to start corrupting the head. The whole system has to go. Thanks for that comment you wrote about it. Right there. Did I finish now? Yeah, Thompson, clean up the police force that doesn't stand for the people. For it's the people tax dollars feeding their houses. 100% accurate right there. Marky is saying, when I was born, no, what is saying? When I was in Form 1, Scared was head boy in grammar school and was very good athlete. He was poor but humble, bright and ambitious. Brothers and sisters, this is why I say, absolute power corrupts absolutely. It's not that Scared somehow had this corrupt. Some people believe that, well, I was talking to a particular individual and he believes that Scared was always corrupt. I don't think that is the case. I think when you stay in a position for so long, this is one of the reasons I'm an advocate. If it was United Workers' Party that was there and they passed, say, 15 years, being there for 15 years, I would have a problem with that. Oh no, let me rephrase that. If the same leader has been there for 15 years, I would have a problem with that. Scared has been there for 25 years, brothers and sisters. This is what we're talking about. This is one of the things that I started with St. Lucia. Well, let's do St. Lucia doing macaco. But one thing with St. Lucia, they used to change blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red. They just so happened this time. Red, red. And then we've seen some kind of thing happening in St. Lucia, but hey, who knows what exactly is going on when it comes to the sentiment right there. But I think leaders need to change. Just like the United States, it's like what was happening on the Democratic Party. The corruption, $12 trillion in corruption, brothers and sisters, in bad spending and corruption. Yes, that is what was exposed as a result of the changing government. If it had continued, that thing would have, nobody would never know what's going on. And people trying to fight me on what has been discovered. Hey, you see, look what happened in Minnesota. You see what happened in Minnesota, brothers and sisters? If all the corruption, that they have to put aside $294 million. They have to put aside when it comes to, was it Medicaid? Because they found corruption inside there. Okay, all right then. Anyways, let me continue. Yes, so he's bright and ambitious, athletic sword. I also knew his wife Melissa and her bigger siblings since I was a child in ROSEAU. My aunt and big sister used to work for Papa, and I guess that's the father Valentine's store. I remember that store. Is that store still alive now? Anyways, trust me, if he didn't climb up that social ladder, they could have never ever been together. And people have been saying this, and I strongly agree when it comes down to the sentiment right there. Because if he was in his poor state that he was, as a minister of education, poor state teaching school and what have you, before he became minister of education, you think me, Melissa, whatever, come on. No, you see, Melissa have all kind of, she go in parliament to discuss people business, but she dress up in all kind of Gucci stuff. That's what they call her Gucci Mel. They call her Gucci Mel. So that lets you know the mind frame of certain people, brothers and sisters. Anyways, trust me, if he did not climb up the social ladder, they could have never been together. Anyhow, I think that DA need a political purging. Yes, I definitely do think so as well. But of course, it only happens with your vote, brothers and sisters. That is the only way it can happen. Is if you guys decide, you know what? Let me not say I'm not going to vote. Let me actually go and vote. Let me go and register and let me go and vote, brothers and sisters. That is how it's going to happen. Or are you saying, oh, I don't vote in and expect change to come? Are you serious? Joke all you making, boy. Trust me, if I did blah, blah, blah. Anyways, carry the corporate ladder, political purging. Let's bring all these traitors to justice and reclaim our nature isle. Yes, I think that is exactly what needs to be done. Only then will we achieve true development of people. That is where it starts, brothers and sisters. As a classic liberal, we understand the plight of the people and the elevation. And when we're not seeing the elevation of the people, we know that the leader has a problem. Because the leader is supposed to empower the people to work and continue working on the elevation factor of themselves. And when people are now dependent on the government, this is not, brothers and sisters, when you are no longer independent, you are dependent on something for your future. And then you have to be the obedient one to that of which you are dependent on for your own survival. Boy, people think, boy, only then will we achieve true development of people and land and mass return of the diaspora. Talk done. Who vex lost? Thanks for that comment, Maki. I appreciate that right there. Okay. Dominica, by boss. Dominica by boss, because yourself one time is saying either geological studies were not done before the start of construction, which is foolishness. I agree right there. Skerrit said that is what they tell him. If I do recollect properly, I remember, brothers and sisters, Skerrit said that is what they tell him. They look and say, oh, that is the area that have the best rocks. And when the experts come, they find no test done. They say there are certain things you look for to know that there are tests being done in the area. There was none. But apparently they know. So obviously, the agenda they had there is the copper that was there. That was the main agenda. They will just not tell you. And it seems like people only will believe if the Prime Minister them come out and say, hey, okay, it's copper we're looking for. Oh, that's how some people operate with. Brothers and sisters, when the whole objective reality tells you otherwise, you're seeing that you heard from the experts. Even today, they were there 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., brothers and sisters, talking about that thing. Hopefully you guys saw that right there. Talking about that same sentiment. I don't understand. I don't understand human beings, Anyways, so them doing it before, not doing studies before the construction is kind of foolishness. Or they were done and their findings doctored or ignored so that the airport construction could go forward, which is politics. A current study now finds copper, yet another resource in our resource-rich land, which is poorer than so many other resource-poor islands. A stop order is in place on construction area, but heavy equipment is being brought in, likely to do work undercover or night. Yes, brothers and sisters, or in the night. That's true. That can be done when everybody's sleeping and things are going on. Then people don't really know what's happening. They do their stuff in the night. Because last weekend I drove through there after dark and diggers were digging indeed. So somebody saying that they saw diggers digging. So I was saying maybe if they brought it there and they feel like, they just put it there until the stop order is over. But what that person saying is making a lot of sense. Thank you for that information too. Because if you go there in the dark after dark and you see them digging, you should film it and send it for me. BrBpTV@gmail.com. That's what you should do. Are you as confused as I am? To answer your closing question, of course, the people should be consulted. This is the democracy, is it not? I agree. The boy, why don't Scared bring down the RSS now to protect the court order? Well, he doesn't need it to protect. To me, it's him not giving the order. Eh? So he will not bring his order against the very people that stuff. I'm guessing that person thinks that the Chinese is acting on their own. And so forth. We already sold to the Chinese, you see. No wonder the US have given up on Dominica. Anyhow, the world is watching. Thanks for that comment right there. I definitely do think that, I don't think that Dominica has been sold to the Chinese, but I definitely do think that the Chinese have a vested interest in the copper that is there. And maybe because the CBI is not producing much money. This is what I'm thinking from a logical point of view. Okay, brothers and sisters, you can challenge it if you want. Let me know your thoughts in that regard right there. But I definitely do think that the Chinese have a vested interest in copper. And they're doing it under hush-hush with the understanding that they're using the airport as a cover-up for it. They're using the airport as a cover-up for it. So the Chinese have a vested interest in copper, and maybe that's how they probably had a direct market for the copper, and therefore will be mining the copper and taking things out and so forth and so forth without the Dominican people knowing. So you only have a few set of people who will be benefiting from this copper mining. But this is not even the full interest. This is not even the total thing I'm talking about, brothers and sisters. I'm talking about the destruction of the nature itself for a handful of people to make money. Aye, Dominicans, hélas, boy. Hélas. Mistake we. Moving on right there. Queen of Shorts. I know your birthday is coming up soon. Oh yeah. I appreciate your dedication to keeping us entertained and informed about all things Nature Isle. Happy birthday in advance. I appreciate you guys. That'll be my birthday will be on Monday. So of course, thanks for that contribution, no doubt about it. Right there, I appreciate it, no doubt about it. Big up to Queen of Shorts right there for the 50 gifted, and of course the happy birthday shout outs in advance. So I appreciate you, no doubt about it. I say thanks and God bless. You're welcome, bless up. So yeah man, big up yourself one time. King Complex is saying the police force themselves must unite and take a stand against the government. Well, if it's corrupt, brothers and sisters. If it is corrupt, it's corrupt. And when you create a corrupt society or corrupt culture in the police force, because it's very clear. It's very clear, brothers and sisters. How on earth do people report crimes happening to them? Sometimes even on camera. And police don't showing up. Police not showing up for crimes that are being committed. On camera. 2 weeks later, unless the crowd or the society didn't bring these things in an uproar, then nothing would be done. Nothing would be done. But they know how to go after people's constitutional rights though, and then talk about riot act. We riot acting. The riot act cannot be the supreme law of the land. The constitution is the supreme law of the land. And if the riot act is placed that you're going to base on the riot act and not based on the constitution, then you are wrong. The riot act then becomes wrong. Because the constitution is the supreme law of the land. And of course, what they're going to be doing, they're going to be dragging that case. Dragging it. Look at how long the thing with Leonard Clinton, Dr. Thompson Fountain, and Edison James had lasted 8 years just for it to be thrown out. I don't understand. I don't understand this crazy stuff right there. This King Complex, the police force themselves. So yes, I definitely do agree that. No doubt about it. Right there. King Complex again. The moral of the story is that Dominica don't have a police force. what we have is a political enforcement. Yes, agenda-based. A number of persons seeing that themselves. I appreciate you for definitely pointing that out right there. They are not peacemakers. They are government pleasers. They are agenda-based. That's what they are. And when you create a culture of agenda-based police force, they go against the laws and they listen to, instead of going according to the constitution, they listen to what their higher ups tell them, infringing on the people's rights. I don't understand this. Althea is saying, you see that is the increase of voting labor now, the labor rights reaping their what's big need? What's it? Let me see what is that word, brothers and sisters. Me first time I seen that word.
Benignities.
Benignities? Okay, that's interesting. For 25 years, what does that mean? Well, he doesn't even find it, you know. Anyways, we'll find that out later. But I appreciate the comment, no doubt about it. Scarite signs mining rights to the Chinese for his fake airport where they're mining and making leaks. I don't know if they're making leaks, but okay. The man looking for his pocket and not the country. Well, I mean, can we say that it's far-fetched, brothers and sisters? Can we say that that is far-fetched, though? I mean, look at what the Prime Minister has been doing. Remember when the Prime Minister moved into his first mansion? Say it's not a mansion, he can't stay in no mansion. What are they talking about? You're on his third one today. I mean, come on. Osborne, hey, Mystelics, good night to you again. Now, hear me on this, Mystelics. Number one, Dominica is now a police state doing the dirty work of the scary government. I mean, where was I? Oh, number one, sorry. Dominica is being controlled by Chinese Communist government. A number of persons have been saying that. And when we see the Chinese doing the thing against stop order, I mean, come on. Dominica is now a police state doing, number two, Dominica is now a police state doing the dirty work of the scary government. Okay? Indicating that already. Number three, Commissioner of Dominica Police Force is a puppet and a lapdog. Yes, agenda-based. I've been saying right there, I'm scared. So therefore, they're all taking their orders from Scared instead of the constitution that should guide them, instead of the laws of Dominica. They're taking the orders from what has been passed down. That's why I told you about the culture, brothers and sisters. So the entire police force is working under Scared's command and not on the behalf of the people of Dominica. If they were actually working under the constitution of Dominica, that is the supreme law of the land, instead of what Scared say, most likely Scared would have been arrested already, brothers and sisters. Remember how they had the opposition talk about incitement? And Scared is caught on tape and audio telling the people that if any opposition were to step into their front steps on their front door to throw hot water on them, brothers and sisters, isn't that inciting? How the Prime Minister telling people to throw hot water to burn people, and the police don't go for inciting violence? No, man. Joke only making that place there. But it's a waste of time. Anyway, Scary command and not on the behalf of the people of Dominica. So in other words, the police force is a complete waste of time. But no waste of time, now they're doing what they have been told by whoever. Next point, kudos and big up to the brother Nazio, his wife, and White Rasta, Guai, and others for standing up for Dominica, for all of us, and for what they believe in. Big up Nazio, Dr. Thompson Fountain. Dr. Thompson Fountain should invite Nazio Fountain to speak to the people. Well, I think Nazio has this belief that Nazio is always saying he's not a political person, but the very thing Nazio is doing is political. He doesn't apparently he doesn't really seem to realize it. You're standing up against the policies that are put in place, and apparently government is rejecting these policies, even the stop orders. That is politics. Brothers and sisters, that is politics. I don't think people don't understand what is politics. The people think politics is red and bluey. Sometimes I hear people saying, oh, you're playing politics. No, politics is something that the clothes I'm wearing is political, brothers and sisters. You think people in certain areas can wear those clothes there? Brothers and sisters, that is politics, policies put in place. Oh boy, Dr. Thompson Fountain should invite Nazio Fountain to speak. I agree, that's sentiment right there, because that is also political situation. So if you side in and say, hey, that is wrong is showing, that is what is happening is wrong, you should come on a podium and say wrong is wrong. But hey, yeah, on the 21st of March, I also think that some of the songs that Nazio is singing is definitely political. It's definitely, most of the songs Nazio is singing is political, about Babylon and those kind of things there. Things that got brutal now. That is political, brothers and sisters. But yeah, they are having a meeting in LUCIA on the 21st of March. I think it starts around 5 p.m. So you guys can definitely check that out right there. And the people need to hear it. So please, Dr. Fountain, invite reggae legend, Brother Nazio Fountain. He also, I think he needs to perform too. One more thing, I agree 100% with you, Mystelics. When you say the people don't show up in numbers because they are too busy just surviving on peanut salaries, yeah, that's true. The government has made it so, and brothers and sisters, if you look at how, just do research now, brothers. Look at documentaries of how government have oppressed people, and you'll see that they're going after the very thing. Brothers and sisters, you don't even have to go far. Look at the whole situation involving the injection, brothers and sisters. You don't want to take injection. So what they do? They tell you if you don't take it voluntarily, that means you have to go and take it. They say they don't force you, know. But if you don't take it, brothers and sisters, you will lose your job. If you don't take it, you will not get benefit. They were giving people land, they were giving people scholarships, they were giving people all sorts of things. And those who do not want to take it, they want to punish them by losing their jobs. So people were forced to take it, brothers and sisters. When you look at the economy, exactly the same sentiment is happening. When you're trying to get better jobs and you cannot get better jobs because the government has prevented you from getting better jobs or even adequate jobs or any jobs at all. You have to resort to going to NEP or working in a business and working on that NEP, getting paid half. All this kind of business there. That's if that's still happening. I know a business place that closed down. Most of the employees were actually NEP workers. They were paying half and the government was paying half. After the whole situation passed, the business closed down because it couldn't sustain. He tried to adapt, but he couldn't sustain. Oh my goodness. So yes, no doubt about it. Right there. They are keeping the people busy. Out here again, Scarite is their father. That's why they go, going ahead. Because about Chinese. Universal Judge. And a lot of Dominicans have big mouth on Facebook, but a lot of them are afraid of frat boy. Scared? Yeah, some of them they talking, and when Scared come, they think I heard that sentiment, I think it's Calibishi, somebody was telling me that. They have big mouth talking, all that big mouth and thing, all that thing they're saying, big mouth when Scared come, all of them quiet. All of them quiet. They on social media, Airborne News and what have you, they talking, they talk, Scared come, all of them quiet. All of them quiet. I haven't heard after they had them on video, then what they did, they were trying to ask Scared for things. They were trying to ask Scared for things. So that's why they were quiet. Boy, all you, boy. Boy. All human beings are easy, no boy. Universal Judge again, the government is hungry for money and methods of payment because Scared sent the country on a side. Yeah, he did. He flip it, brothers and sisters, and he land on his side. That he fighting to bring back straight. He don't fighting to bring nothing back straight. He looking to see how can I benefit from this chaos. And with this chaos, with the CBI, we are copper there, brothers and sisters. Let me see if I can get some money from it. Because if they're so care about helping the country get straight, why are they not telling the people about the copper that was found by the experts? Why are they not doing that? That's awesome, Hollywood. Hi. Thanks for that comment. I love you, Team Mystelics. This is Dominica problem. Nazio does not have to be active in Dominica. No. For Dominicans to join. Dominicans in Dominica say no, Nazio was quiet. And I understand the sentiment, yes. But Dominica not doing nothing and somebody doing something and you stay naturally home. Quiet. And then calling, saying, Mystelics, where was I? And I bring the information for you to get. Where were you? All right. Nazio is not doing it for himself. Absolutely not. Nazio on there holding, preventing crane from going inside. Or you sit down at your house watching it on TV. Only watching it on TV. Oh yeah, it is vexing. Please, people need to stop looking on the person who is standing. But what are they standing for? That's a good question right there. What are they standing for? Sometimes they even want to tell you what you should be doing. Can you imagine that? They want to tell you what you should be doing and they're at the home hiding. Hey, If there's a stop order, brothers and sisters, Vicky, big up yourself one time for the mining to be stopped in the Wash region. And if the material found there is inconsistent or unsuitable for runway certification and use for the international airport, why are the Chinese allowed to disregard the law on our island? That's why I say maybe they're finding some benefit for themselves and maybe they are the market for the copper. So they are allowed to go and dig and then, you know, sometimes it's right in your face, it's right in your face. And you pretending like you say Ted Calbas. Oh my God. Then the police are there to prevent the citizens from protesting. I'm wondering why weren't there more people to demonstrate? Some came afterwards, it wasn't a lot, probably 10 or 15 people that came after. I think even somebody from the United States came. I guess she was in Dominica and came and she was the one who videotaped the stuff and what have you. Anyways, Marcel, I think that's her name. Anyways, why are they not in droves to stop the Chinese from moving? Brothers and sisters, if there was like 100 people there, that truck would never go nowhere. If there was 100 people there, but because there was 2-3 people there, the police could move them. But if there was 100 people there, you think 3-4 police can move 100 people? That truck would never go nowhere. That is the whole point about unification, brothers and sisters. Oh boy. Osborne again is saying, hey, Mystelics, good night to you. Was I finished now? Why are they not even droves to stop Chinese from moving their heavy machines to dig for the copper? Because they'll be damaging the watershed of 2 main rivers. The 2 main rivers that are connected to other rivers as well. Osborne, of course, big up yourself again. Hey, Mystelics, good night to you, my brother. No, hear me on this. Mr. Lion Scared always knew that there is no good rocks for no airport building up there in the Wash. It's all about the copper. You want to pretend as if people foolish, so they will say, oh, that's what, and people will believe in it, we? Then people asking, well, how do you know this? And people making noise with the people asking him how we know it. How we know that these rocks are good. Then the experts came. The experts came and they did tests. And they found out that everything Scared was saying was not true at all. So Scared gave the public a massive lie from the bottomless pit of hell, willfully knowing that the rocks, well, I don't know if he knew it or not. He said that is what he was told, but I think based off understanding how certain things work, they just decided, hey, let us put this as a cover-up. We'll utilize this, and if we find the good rocks there, then great. But we want to see if there's copper there and so forth, so we can mine the copper. Mystelics, the real reason why Scared has the Chinese in Dubai is because the copper has replaced the passport selling. I've been saying this business, the passport selling business. No passport selling. I wouldn't say no passport selling, but very few is being sold, if any at all. But of course, replace the passport business, so passport selling, no, so copper will sell. And Mystelics, that is all. It is okay, my brother. Anyways, and that is all. It's okay, my brother. Anyways, big up yourself one time. Big up yourself too, Mr. Osborne, right there. Vivida, what is that, David? Davis is saying at this point, if the people don't wake up from slumber, all the efforts of the freedom fighters and Negmao have gone. Yes, brothers and sisters, but that's the funny thing. People don't even know who the Negmaos are. They don't even know who the freedom fighters are. To even know that the sacrifice that individuals have made for them to even be here, being taken advantage of, the cycle still continues. It's one of the things that I think the schooling system has greatly failed. They told the individuals about Christopher Columbus and all those kind of people there, just wasting the people time in school. Talk about Christopher Columbus. Lies about Christopher Columbus. They never tell them about the Negma Wars. But if they touch it, they barely touch it. They never talk about the heroes that helped set the precedence for black people to truly be free today. It took both white and black people, eh? Some of all you racist to white people not realizing that some of the white people were the ones who helped set you free. But it's sisters, history. Oh my goodness, why can't be people just ignorant, boy. People are ignorant, they believe something in their mind and they say it and they run with it. Brothers and sisters, one of the things we must look for is proof. Research and look for proof, brothers and sisters. If you don't see the proof, what you believe in it for? I was talking to a partner the other day on things he's saying and I had to present certain things to him. And he say, hey, but we'll see how things go. And he still believes in the falsehood that he stick with. Brothers and sisters, Intelligence is not about knowing everything, you know. Intelligence is about being presented the facts that you do not know. You might have your own bias on certain things. You don't necessarily know how to prove it. But you have been presented the facts. And when presented the facts, you model your behavior because it then counteracts your bias. That is intelligence. Some people see the facts, they know the facts, but they're still sticking to it because that is what they side with. Or they have a level of pride in them that they don't want to say, boy, I was wrong. They have a level of pride, brothers and sisters. The great book says, pride goeth before a fall. Sometimes the very fall, we are the ones digging the hole to go in the fall ourselves. That's anyways. Who's that? Kiko? Kiko said, well, Dominican. That's what you all voted for. I think that is what they didn't vote for. That's what you refused to vote against when you didn't vote. That's what it is right there. James Senthouse is saying, my comments would be radicalized. Therefore, I will hold my peace and react in silence. I appreciate that comment. MS is saying, bro showing an AI generated flyer and he called it report. What kind of report is this? Who did this? How they did it? When they did it? Where is the stop order? I think if a stop order existed, everyone would have a copy. Tune in Monday. You will see it. Vicky saying, does the word called everyone exist in Dominica? The only word I know of is what the one maniac always says. It is. Nia Michelle, what kind of police that now? I myself do not know. Thanks for that comment. Nia again. Who they expect the pew pew? Who they expected to pew pew them? That they came without bulletproof vests? Huh? I don't understand that comment. But thanks for that comment. Nia, it have videos showing the effects of copper mining in Jamaica. Yes, I think I saw one of them. Man, I tell you, learn from somebody else's mistakes. I mean, there's ways you can do it properly. If you don't do it properly, you'll be in chaos. What I seen happening in Dubai there is chaotic. Nia again, what they come, they're dressed in camo. Well, I guess the Chinese call them because they were preventing them from coming. What's that? One is saying, bro, you're talking too much. Limit your commentary and let the video tell the story. Well, when you have your video, you will definitely do that. When you have your platform, you'll do that. I will do what I want on my platform. Okay? All right. There's a reason why my audience retention is high. For a reason. All right. Anyways, Nia again is saying they will come tomorrow and protest for his. Well, yes, they will. The people that do showing up and want betterment for the country, when they looking for their benefit now, they showing up now. Hey, we want to. Sometimes they even hiding. Some of them are hiding because they don't want them to see them in protest for their own benefit. They do this because their country, they think. Oh, they do this because in their country, they think that if they work for the government, they can do anything. I guess they think if one security is the boss, they can do whatever they want. Brent Williams is saying, even if they're not in charge, they haven't got a brain. I don't know what that means, but thanks for that comment. Andres is saying, I want to make a spin up that side on Saturday, right after I register to vote. Kudos, register to vote, man. Since the stop order is supposedly in effect, I assume I can without any police interference. You should be able to do so right there. Dr. ROSEAU Skerrit is modernizing Dominica. Respect, Doc. Said Lucia stands with you. Well, first of all, he's not a doctor. He was never a doctor in the first place. So how you can call him a doctor? He's not a doctor. Okay? The place where he received the honorary, you can call him a doctor. But outside of that, he's not a doctor. In fact, he's a doctor. He's the two doctor. Dominica is not in what? Dominica is not in St. League. Dominica will never catch up, doctor or no doctor, what he's doing is wrong, yes. Let him pay his poor people to vote for him. The begging will come to an end. And let's see what the bigger beggars will do then. That's what people don't seem to understand. There's no work he does not. There's no work he does not pay civil servants the correct pay, or pays when he chooses to. He's not a penny short, but his supporters will always be begging him. That's why I don't understand. You begging somebody for years and expect to become wealthy. Brothers and sisters, how it working then? You literally begging somebody for money all the time, and you expect to be wealthy, you expect to have some level of semblance, knowing that if you can beg, you get a few dollars? Really? Some people must be happy when Scared pass and he give them a $500 fee, and Scared making a share money plus $64,000 a month. But you get $500 every year. I pray the Prime Minister of Dominica perish. Well, we're not praying for him to perish. I didn't want Scary to perish at all. I think that is a very bad idea. I think what he needs to do is to definitely, I was going to like that comment, but I don't like it because you said the last part. We cannot wish bad for people hoping for betterment for others. No, brothers and sisters. You cannot wish bad. If bad falls on them, that is their own accord. You cannot wish bad for them. No, that should never be. If bad falls on them, that they cause that for on themselves. You do not wish bad. That bad might end up falling on you or your family. So do not wish bad on people. I think Scary needs to pay his dues. I personally think Scary should go and get all the monies, whether it's in Cayman Islands, whether it's Dubai, wherever these monies are. He should get all of them, bring them to Dominica, and he can go. He can go France. Go France. Go France. Let them. Anyways. Brent Williams again. Manikou do understand English. That's funny. Brent Williams, that's why the kitchen calling them Manikou gang. Yep. A set of battery operated police. It's unfortunate, brothers and sisters. Good point. He turned his back. It's a bit too late to stay in the bush. Yes. I wouldn't say it's, at least he's standing. At least he's standing. Where are the other Dominicans? Some people say he hasn't talked, and I agree, he hasn't spoken for a while. Maybe he has decided to retire and be quiet and what have you. Nazir could be going all over the place making way more money, you know. He's known as a reincarnated Bob Marley. Obviously, people love Bob Marley so much that whenever Nazir go and sing, yes, he represents Nazir, but people still view him as the reincarnated Bob Marley. Bob Marley in our present regime. So he would have made a lot of money. He chose to just relax and retire, and he retired from music, I guess. Doesn't perform anywhere. I guess he make a set of money. He can make his small house and do his agriculture wherever he doing his thing and just live as a simple man and so forth and so forth. He has his own choice to do so. He doesn't necessarily come out and be the talking, no. But he's there today. And where are the other people who have been there for long? Where are they hiding? So that's still not an excuse. But thanks for that comment. No doubt about it. Brent, hungry, they hungry government. They're not hungry, no. I think it's greed that there. Eric is saying, you sell where you was, why you didn't go. I just said that. Where I was making sure that you guys get the information. That's where I was. Where were you? I am out here talking, just risking me doing these things, brothers and sisters. Risking me doing these things. Thank God I have international help, brothers and sisters, when it comes into this situation right here. Thank God, where I can come and bring you this information. Sometimes some of you would have no idea what's going on. Where were you? What are you doing? What are you doing? His role is to spread the news, to show, well, definitely, that is calling. And I'm sometimes there, I'm definitely sometimes there. When there are protests and this kind of things there, and in the place, where's Eric Roll? Where's Eric Roll? Huh? You might not see me in one place where people protesting, you see me in another place. Where are you? Have you ever been to any protests? Have you ever been? Huh? No? Okay. Jenny, Dominica must come back and judge all who responsible. I think that is one of the cases right there. I think if Thompson definitely, and hopefully definitely come through, I think he definitely needs to do like Trump and hold these people who have done corruption and all these kind of things, that he needs to hold them to account. Red bench drama. Melissa situation. Max Pian. It's just crazy, brother. Tears in my eyes. Yes, very crazy indeed. You have to really sit down and think about it, brothers and sisters. You go mad. Sister J. This is not Dominica I know. The Dominica I know would have sticks and stones, old trucks blocking. Yeah. As the old in Dominica. I've heard of the stories of the old in Dominica, you know, brothers and sisters. I know. So definitely true right there. We give that a lot of heart too. Vanya is saying, so the PM and his greedy government are not listening to the people of... Well, they haven't been listening. So, I mean, this is not something new. Well, when it comes to the next election, when he wants their vote, they can show him. That's what I think should happen. They need to show Scary Dominica is not his own for him to do what he wants. And people are happy to just be getting the crumbs, People happy to get the crumbs, boy. And then they want to pass on crumbs to their children. Or you can stay in the house. Do you own the house? No. But you can stay there. I'll pass on and pass it to you if the government make you have it. But then if you have 2, 3, 4 children, how are you going to split the house into 2, 3, 4? I know what people tend to do. They might use the house. But when people go overseas and stuff, have their children and mother and father pass away and this kind of things, sometimes they have the house as a place they can come back to on vacation and those kind of things there. But it's nothing that you can do. Nothing that you can do. Or sometimes they sell the house and they split the profits 3 ways. Larry Lewis, it's unfortunate that Peter will pay for Paul. That's the sad part about it, brothers and sisters. The very sad part about it. Noah preached for 120 years. They took him for an idiot. I remember somebody having the argument and saying, how could God punish people during the flood? The people come on a microphone and say, how could God punish people? I don't want to serve a God that would punish people in a flood. People saying that way. God punished people in a flood. You mean to tell me a man building a boat telling all you guys, come into the boat. Come into the boat. It's about to rain, brothers and sisters. Come. You see them, man, you say, they call the man all sorts of names, the mad, he crazy, all kind of things. And when the people did not come into the boat, they chose not to come into the boat. God shut the ark. When rain started to fall, people start pounding on the door. But the doors open for you to come. Even if you didn't want to help build the ark, the door was still open for you to walk in. Then God shut the ark. And then people today saying God wicked, he is the one that drowned these people. When God had the door open for them to come and walk into the ark to save themselves. Boy, human beings are something special, boy. Christopher Weeks, so the nature isle is finally on its knees. Not only, it's on its belly. Finish with knees long time gone. Is this what Scary did and vision for Dominica? Is this leadership? Absolutely not. Martial law? I was going to say another word. The Muslim word, but let me leave that here. In the nature isle, clearly, we see no law, no constitutional rights. What is the future of our children? Tomorrow, people, go Nazi. Big up to Nazi on that right there, no doubt about it. Again, before guys, if you definitely want to leave a contribution for them when it comes into the situation, because they're planning to take the government to court on this situation right there, let me know. I'll provide that link for you guys on the GoFundMe page. Hopefully, I'll put it at the top of the screen, of the top of the first comment. And therefore you can definitely make your contributions there in that regard right there, brothers and sisters. Charles Joseph, Scary just like the enemy. He comes to kill, steal, and destroy. Well, I don't think it's kill, steal, and destroy. I think he comes for his own pockets. Vanya, maybe they are talking about the court's furniture shop, not the court justice. Because who is in charge of the madness that is happening there in Dominica? I agree. Is there a law and order? That's a good question right there. And of course, we have the last set of individuals. Sister J, laughing at comment. And of course, Boran Maniac, big up yourself one time for being the first one to leave a comment. But I appreciate the comment. A comment. All right, leave a comment. It would be nice. Anyways, guys, this is all your boys for this reaction vibrations. If you enjoyed it, give this video a thumbs up, an hour and something. That's crazy, man. But anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment box below. There's also something very important, brothers and sisters. The birth rate of Dominica has been declining. And I think that is something I need to touch on Monday as well, God's spare. So I appreciate all the love and so forth, brothers and sisters. And of course, I'll see you guys in the next reaction video. Remember, guys, be real, Saturday King always. Thanks so much for watching. Be positive.
All I feel is on the